Hey everyone. Okay. All right, people. Good afternoon, or good morning, afternoon, or whatever. Um, I'm gonna start at 777 in book five. Uh, mm, the passing of the Gray Company. Chapter what? Chapter two. I'm only gonna read a couple pages, dearies, because it's a fight for me today. Um, I wanted to read, but I'm gonna make sure that we read together or whatever. I'll read and I'll share, whatever. But it's important to me. But anyway, the spirit of the read, people, spirit of the read. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and disappear. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start reading. Oh, excuse me. So let's see. For a while, the three companions walked together, speaking of this and that turn of the battle, and they went down from the broken gates and past the mounds of the fallen on the green sward beside the road until they stood on Helm's Dyke and looked into the gloom. The death knell already stood there, black and tall and stony, and the great trampling and storing of the grass by the horns could be plainly seen. The Dunlendings and many men of the garrison of the burg were at work on the dyke or in the fields, or about the battered walls behind. Yet all seemed strangely quiet. A weary valley resting after a great storm. Soon they turned back and went to the midday meal in the hall of the burg. The king was already there, and as soon as they entered, they called for Mary and had a seat set for him at his side. It is not as I would have it, said Theoden, for this is little like my fair house in Endorus, and your friend is gone. He should also be here, but it may be long ere we sit, you and I, at the high table in Medusa. There will be no time for feasting when I return thither. But come now, eat and drink, and let us speak together while we may. And then you shall ride with me. May I? Said Mary, surprised and delighted. That would be splendid. He had never felt more grateful for any kindness in words. I am afraid I am only in everybody's way, stammered. But I should like to do anything I could, you know. I doubt it not, said the king. I have had a good hill pony made ready for you. He will bear you, as swift as any horse by the roads that we shall take. For I will ride from the burg by mountain pass, not by the plain, and so come to Endorus by way of Dunharrow, where the Lady Eowyn awaits me. You shall be my esquire, if you will, is there gear of war in this place, Yummer, that my sword Thane could use? There are no great weapon hordes here, Lord, answered Yummer. Maybe a light helm might be found to fit him. But we have no mail or sword for one of his stature. I have a sword, said Mary, climbing from his seat and drawing from the sheath his small, bright blade. Filled suddenly with love for this old man, he knelt on one knee and he took his hand and kissed it. May I lay the sword of Merodach of the Shire on your lap, Theoden, King, he cried. Receive my service if you will. Gladly will I take it, said the king, and laying his long old hands upon the brown hair of the hobbit, he blessed him. Rise now, Merodach, Esquire Rohan, of the household of Medlucidin, he said, take your sword and bear it unto good fortune. As a father you shall be to me, said Mary. For a little while, said Theoden. They talked then together as they ate, until presently Ilmer spoke. It is near the hour that we set for our going, Lord, he said. Shall I bid men sound the horns? But where is Aragorn? His place is empty, and he has not eaten. We will make ready to ride, said Theoden. But let word be sent to the Lord Aragorn that the hour is nigh. The king, with his guard and Mary at his side, passed down from the gate of the Burg to where the riders were assembling on the green, many already mounted. It would be a great company, where the king was leaving only a small garrison in the Burg, and all who could be spared were riding to the weapon tape at Endorus. 1,000 spears had indeed already ridden away at night, but still there would be some 500 more to go with the king, for the most part men from the fields and dales of Westfold. A little apart the rangers sat, silent in an ordered company, armed with spear and bow and sword. They were clad in cloaks of dark gray, and their hoods were cast now over helm and head. Their horses were strong and of proud bearing, but rough-haired, and one stood there without a rider, Aragorn's own horse that they had brought from the north. Rohan was his name. There was no gleam of stone or gold, nor any fair thing in all their gear and harness, nor did their riders bear any badge or token, save only that each cloak was pinned upon the left shoulder by a bridge of silver shape, like a rain star. The king mounted his horse, Snowmane, and Mary sat beside him on his pony. Stibba was his name. Presently Eomer came out from the gate, and with him was Aragorn, and Halbarad bearing a great staff, close furled and black, and 2 small men, neither young nor old, so much alike were they, the sons of Elrond, that few could tell them apart. Dark-haired, gray-eyed, and their faces often fair, clad alike a bright mail, beneath cloaks of silver gray. Behind him walked Lugo and Gimli. But Mary had eyes only for Aragorn. So startling the change that he saw in him, as if in one night many years had fallen on his head. Grim was his face, gray-hued and weary. I am troubled in mind, Lord, he said, standing by his king's horse. I have heard strange words, and I see new perils far off. I have labored long in thought, and now I fear that I must change my purpose. Tell me, Theoden, you ride now to Dunbarrow. How long will it be ere you come here? It is now a full hour past noon, says Eowyn. Before the night of the third day from now, we should come to the hole. The moon will then be 2 nights past his full, and the muster that the king commanded will be held the day after. More speed we cannot make if the strength of Rohan is to be gathered. Aragorn was silent for a moment. 3 days, he murmured, and the muster of Rohan will only be begun. But I see that it cannot now be hastened. He looked up, and it seemed that he had made some decision. His face was less troubled. Then, by your leave, Lord, I must take new counsel for myself and my kindred. We must ride our own road and no longer in secret. For me, the time of self has passed. I will ride east by the swiftest way, and I will take the paths of the dead. The paths of the dead, said Theoden in tremble. Why do you speak of them? Eomer turned and gazed at Aragorn, and it seemed to Mary that the faces of the riders that sat within hearing turned pale at the words. If there be in truth such paths, said Theoden, their gate is in Dalea, but no living man may pass it. Alas, Aragorn, my friend, said Eomer, I had hoped that we should ride to war together. But if you seek the paths of the dead, then our parting is come, and it is little likely that we shall ever meet again under the sun. That road I will take, nonetheless, said Aragorn. But I say to you, Eomer, that in battle we may yet meet again, though all the hosts of Mordor should stand between. You will do as you will, my lord, Aragorn, said Theoden. It is your doom, maybe, to tread strange paths that others dare not. This parting grieves me, and my strength is lessened by it. But now I must take to the mountain roads and delay no longer. Farewell, farewell, Lord, said Aragorn. Ride unto great renown. Farewell, Mary, I leave you in good hands, better than we hoped when we hunted the orcs to Faircorn. Legolas and Gimli will still hunt with me, I hope, but we shall not forget you. Goodbye, said Mary. He could find no more to say. He felt very small, and he was puzzled and depressed by all these gloomy words. More than ever, he missed the unquestionable cheerfulness of Pippin. The riders were ready, and their horses were fidgeting. He wished they would start and get over. Now Theoden spoke to Eomer And he lifted up his head and cried aloud. And with that word, the rider set forth, and then rode over the dike and down the combe. And then, turning swiftly eastwards, they took a path that skirted the foothills for 8 miles or so, until bending south, they passed back among the hills and disappeared from view. Aragorn rode to the dike and watched till the king's men were far down the combe, and then he turned to Halbarad. There go 3 that I love, and the smallest, not the least, he said. He knows not to what end he rides. Yet if he knew, he still would go on. A little people, but of great worth of the Shire folk, said Halbarad. Little do they know of our long labor for the safekeeping of their borders. And yet I grudge it not. And now our fates are woven together, said Aragorn. And yet, alas, here we must part. Well, I must eat a little, and then we must hasten away. Come, Legolas and Gimli, I will speak with you as I eat. Together, they went back to the burg. Yet, for some time, Aragorn sat silent at the table in the hall, and the others waited for him to speak. Come, said Legolas at last. Speak, and be comforted, and shake off the shadow. What has happened since we came back to the grim place in the gray morning? I struggle somewhat grimmer for my part than the battle of the Hellenberg, answered Aragorn. I have looked in the stone of Orthanc, my friends. You have looked in that accursed stone of wizardry? Exclaimed Gimli with fear and astonishment in his face. Did you say aught to him? Did you say aught to him? Even Gandalf feared that encounter. You forget to whom you speak, said Aragorn sternly. And his eyes glinted. What do you fear that I should say to him? Did I not openly proclaim my title before the doors of Endorus? Nay, Gimli, he said in a softer voice, and the grimness left his face, and he looked like one who labored in sleepless pain for many nights. Nay, my friends, I am the lawful master of the stone, and I both the right and the strength to use it, or so I judge. The right cannot be doubted. The strength was enough, barely. He drew a deep breath. It was a bitter struggle, and the weariness is slow to pass. I spoke no word to him, and in the end, I brushed the stone to my own will, and that alone he will find hard to endure, and he beheld me. Yes, Master Gimli, he saw me, but in the other guise than you see me in. If that will aid him, then I have done ill. But I do not think so. To know I lived and walked the earth was a blow to his heart. I deem, for he knew it not till now. The eyes in Orthanc did not see through the armor of Theoden. But Sauron has not forgotten Isildur and the sword of Elendil. Now, in the very hour of his great designs of the heir of Isildur and the sword are revealed. For I show the blade reforged to him. He is not so mighty yet. He is above fear. Nay, down ever nauseam. But he wields great dominion, nonetheless, Gimli. And now he will strike more swiftly. The hasty stroke goes off astray, said Aragorn. We must press our enemy and no longer wait upon him for the move. See, my friends, when I had mastered the stone, I had learned many things. A great pearl I saw coming unlooked, whereupon Gondor, from the south, that will draw off great strength from the defense of Minas Tirith. It is not, if it is not countered swiftly, I deem that the city will be lost ere 10 days gone. Then lost it must be, said Gimli, for what help us is there to send thither, and how it come there in time. I have no help to send. Therefore I must go myself, said Aragorn. But there is only way through the mountains that will bring me to the coastlands before all is lost. That is the pass of the dead. The pass of the dead, said Gimli, and is a fell name, and little to the liking to the men of Rohan, as I saw. Can the living use such a road and not perish? And even if you pass that way, what will so few avail to counter the strokes of Mordor? The living have never used that road since the coming of Rohan, said Aragorn. Word is close to them. But in the dark hour of the arrow, others may use it, if he dare. Listen, this is the word that the sons of Elrond bring to me from their father in Rivendell, wisest in lore. Bid Aragorn remember the words of the seer and the pass of the dead. And what be the words of the seer, says the Lugo Lusk. And this spoke Macbeth the seer in the days of Alduai, last king at Fornos, said Aragorn. Over the land there lies a long shadow, westward reaching wings of darkness. The tower trembles. To the tombs of kings, doom approaches. The dead awaken, for the hour is come for the oathbreakers. At the stone of Eric they will stand again, and hear there a horn in the hills ringing. Who shall the horn be? Who shall call them from the gray twilight? The forgotten people, the heir of him to whom the oath they swore. From the north shall they come. Need shall drive him. He shall pass the door to the pass of the dead. Dark ways, doubtless, said Gimli, but no darker than these staves are to me. If you would understand them better, then I bid you come with me, said Aragorn, for that way I now shall take. But I do not go gladly. Only need drives me. Therefore, only your free will I have you come, for you will both toil in great fear and maybe worse. Okay, I'm going to stop here on page 781 and start next time on 782. Now, I know I overread by one page. I know some people go, she got into it. She got to go finish it. You got to finish it. Yeah, so you know, understand my feeling now is that it's not over till it's over. And it's the momentum is still rising to where it will climax. And the, to where the solution will come in. And what will that? What is the ending? Really, you may guess among yourselves and talk about it, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's a result of the battle. But anyway, the great battle that may be to come. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and let everyone go. Have a great day, everyone. I hope you're. I was so caught up on so home somewhere. Make sure you don't hurt yourself or someone else while doing it. Okay, thank you. Later, people.